I invested my money in something else. I put a little bit of money in an investment. 2 years later, that investment became $1 million profit. I am kampungkid Douglas, and you can call me kampungkid for short. So tonight we're going to start. So tonight really is my first virgin experience, and I'm going to do my best to create as much value over the next whatever period of time for you guys. But before I do that, a little bit about myself. So my name is Douglas, okay, otherwise known as kampungkid. I am probably old enough to be a lot of your father, okay? So I've been pretty much an entrepreneur most of my life. And I started my first business. In 1996. I experienced my first recession in 1997. And then because I was in the internet business, I experienced my first boom in 1998. So we grew, so my business grew, and the internet business grew with the dot-com boom very, very quickly. We were offered to be acquired by a European consortium for a lot of money then to me. So I was 30 years old in the year 2000. And we said no to that a lot of money because we wanted more money. And 1 year later, the dot-com became a bubble and it burst. So when the dot-com bubble burst, I experienced my first major setback in my life. I lost $1 million. I took out a loan. I took out about $200,000 to keep the business going. My business partners left. I was paying a lot of interest on that loan to keep the business going, and my dad fell ill. He had heart problems. He needed heart bypass surgery. He was diabetic. He had kidney, liver problems, the works. So he needed heart bypass surgery. And I'm the oldest son in the family. And the oldest son who's supposed to take care of the father was broke. So the oldest son couldn't even take care of himself. So we had to sell our family home to finance his medical expenses. A year later, he died. So that was a terrible time for me. Okay, so I started to pick the pieces up. I worked very, very hard. And as I started to clear my debts, in 2004, something else happened. SARS happened. So just as I was picking myself up, another disaster came. So I worked even harder. And in 2005, with some friends, they told me, Douglas, you know, you're working too hard. Something needs to change because it's insanity. It is madness to continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. Yeah, I lost $1 million. I attempted to recover everything. I worked very hard. And I was very, very tired. By 2005, I was very, very tired. But I'm very stubborn. Okay, I'll say a little bit more about that later. I was very stubborn. In 2005, with some friends, they said do something differently. So I did something differently. I invested my money in something else. I put a little bit of money in an investment. 2 years later, that investment became $1 million profit. Okay, I've never seen so much money before in my life. Okay, 7 digits, my money. But the strange thing that happened was this. The next day when I woke up, so now I have a little bit more money in my bank account. The next day when I woke up, nothing changed. I still have to brush my teeth. I still have to shower. I still have to go to the toilet. I still have to eat. Nothing changed. And then I asked myself, so I worked so hard, so now I have a little bit of money, but nothing changed. Then why do I need to work so hard, and why do I need to make all that money? So I started asking different questions. So one of the things I learned in my life is this: when we ask questions, the guarantee is we will get an answer. So the quality of the answers that we get depend on the questions that we ask. So for a very long time, I was asking one question, which was, how do I make more money? Okay, and then I made more money. But when I made more money, I realized that that was not it. Money was meaningless at that point. So I started asking different questions. If life isn't about making money, then what is life about? So I changed my question and I started to get a different answer. So that was in 2007. I was financially independent, I was financially free, and I started asking different questions. And one of the questions is, what do I want to do in my life? So now I started to look for investments. I started to meet people, and then one day I met a very successful entrepreneur, and I wanted to do business with her. And she said, "Okay, Ken, I can do business with you, but there's something you need to do for me." And I said, "Okay, fine," because I wanted to do business with her. What is it that you want me to do for you? Then she said, "I want you to go to KL for 3.5 days." Then I looked at her. Go to KL for what? To attend a program called Money and You. So because I wanted to do business with her so much, I paid money. I went to KL for 3.5 days. So today I tell people this: my life, there are only two parts. The part before Money and You and the part after Money and You. Because at Money and You, I found all the answers. Okay, I found all the answers about what it means to be successful in life, which is not just about making money. At Money and You, I discovered how come before Money and You, there was so much drama in my life, all the roller coasters, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I realized that I created the drama that was in my life. And at Money and You, I discovered what else I want to do in my life. And today I'm doing the only thing I can imagine doing in my life. And I know I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life. So that's a little bit about me, and I'll say more about what I'm doing right now. I see some questions. Okay, and the first question I see right now is how I met NhiLe Ann and first impressions of her. Oh wow, she was such a disaster. Okay, I hope she's not listening to this. Anyway, when I first met Anne, she was such a disaster, and I looked at this disaster, and I felt, wow, she's such a disaster. She has so much gift from the universe. Because one of the things that I've also learned is that the universe will give us gifts. And the biggest gifts that the universe will give us come in the form of struggles, challenges, and obstacles. And this girl, Anne, who was a disaster, had all three of them. And so when I first met her, she was, "Douglas, there's all these things that's happening in my life." And I say, "Wow, so nice." And then she said, "I hate you." So I shared with her that the universe has given her an amazing gift. And this amazing gift, she can take it and she can choose what she wants to do with it. She can break down, be a victim, feel sorry for herself, feel that the world is so unfair, feel that everything is going wrong, or she can choose to break through. So at every point when we are presented with a struggle, with an obstacle, with a challenge, we choose. We choose, do we want to break down or do we want to break through? And I told Anne that. So that was 2 years ago. So today, I'm very glad she made the choice to break through. But in order to break through, you need to learn this. Okay, you need to learn how to do things differently. And Anne was very, very enthusiastic. She was very, very hungry. So she learned, she got new knowledge, she learned new skills, she got new tools, and she started to live her life differently. She chose to break through. And I believe today she has a huge community right now that she's creating breakthroughs for. Okay, and I am so inspired by her. And that is why, when she challenged me, so she's the one who challenged me to do this. And that's why I'm here this evening. So somebody asked, what does wealth prosperity mean to me? So if you look at the world today, okay, there is a big lie that is being told in the world today, that wealth is about money. Okay, that's the big lie that's being told to us. It's all around us in the media, in our education system, in everything that we do, in the work that we do. But what really is wealth? What really is wealth? So I learned this at Money and You. Wealth is the number of days we can survive forward. Okay, the wealth that we have gives us the ability to survive a number of days forward. Okay, so if I am 50 years old, no, okay, I'm not. I'm going to be 52 this year. So if I live for another 50 years to be 100, then having wealth means that I have enough to last me for the next 50 years. That's what wealth means. Money is one form of wealth. Okay, money is one form of wealth, but it is not the only form of wealth. Imagine this. Imagine that I have all the money that I need to live the next 50 years. Imagine if you have all the money to live. Okay, how long are you going to live? You just count, okay? Your current age, 100 minus your current age, how many years is that? Okay, that's how long I believe that all of us today will be able to live, up to at least 100 years old, if we don't have any major illness. Okay, so imagine this. You have all the money. You have enough money to live for the entire period of time, but you are not healthy. You're not healthy. You are weak. Okay, you're always falling sick. You can't take care of yourself. You have all sorts of medical problems. Or worse still, you may not be physically able to do a lot of things. So if I was like that today, if I was always sick, always having medical problems, what is the next 50 years going to be like? Not very nice. So what? So what if I have the money? How about this? I live another 50 years. Let's say I am healthy, but I have no friends. I'm totally alone. So imagine if you're totally alone, you have health, you have money, you're totally alone, you have no friends. What is life going to be like? Imagine this also. Next 50 years, you have friends, you have money, you have health, but you have no purpose, you have no meaning. Everything that you do every day is you're just looking for things to fill your time with. You can be very busy, but you're getting nowhere. You're not growing. Then what is life going to be like? So to me, life is about, there are 9 elements of wealth, and money is just one of them. We have a framework. So I developed a framework about what these 9 elements are. Okay, that includes our intellectual wealth, our physical wealth, our spiritual wealth, our emotional wealth, environmental wealth, the space that we live in has got to be safe. Cultural wealth, my heritage, where I come from, my traditions, my rituals, my practices. Vocational wealth. If I was not concerned about earning an income, then what would I be doing with my life? So these are all the other elements that form what I consider the 9 dimensions of wealth. Okay, I can put a link into the description below, in the chat below later on, where you guys can read more about these 9 dimensions of wealth. Actually, I actually have another video where I talk about these 9 dimensions of wealth. But in a nutshell, wealth to me is what do I need? What are the resources, what are the assets that I need to live the life that I want in the way that I want, without worrying about what's going to happen. How do I live fully? What do I need to be able to live like that? And that is something that I need to design. That's something that each of us need to design for ourselves. It's not going to be the same for everyone. Because the thing is this, if we are not designing our life, then who is designing? If you're not designing your life, then who is designing your life for you? If you're not designing your life, then you're living somebody else's life. And very often we have friends, we have families who tell us what they think is best for us. But that's what they think is best for us. You know, when people tell me that, what do I say to them? If somebody tells me, Douglas, you know, you need to do this, you should be doing this, I tell them, leave me alone with my dream. This is my life. You go and worry. Sorry, that was my dog. Okay, leave me alone with my life. You deal with your own life. That's what I say to people. So that's what wealth is to me. So that's another question. According to President Abraham Lincoln, the best way to defeat my enemy is to make him my friend. Very good question. What's the underlying meaning of this sentence? So my question to you guys is this: who is your biggest enemy? What is your biggest enemy? If it's not a person, what is your biggest enemy? And a lot of people, I ask a lot of people this, and one of the things, I'm going to give an example. One of the enemies a lot of people say they have is fear. And there are many, many types of fears. Fear is neither good nor bad. And if you ask yourself what fear is, okay, fear is actually designed to keep us safe, to prevent us from being hurt, to prevent us from harm. Okay, but a lot of us don't like fear because fear tells us about all the things that can go wrong. We fear to fail. We fear to succeed. We fear to be lonely. We fear to have friends. There are all sorts of fears. So a lot of us consider fear the enemy because these fears stop us from doing things, sometimes stop us from doing the things that we want to do in our lives. It gets in the way. So I say this: make fear your friend. Make fear your friend. When fear talks to you, look at what fear is attempting to tell you. I look at what fear is attempting to tell me about things that can go wrong, and I say, thank you for taking care of me. Thank you for letting me know what can go wrong. Thank you for letting me know and preventing me from being harmed. Now it's my turn to take care of myself. So instead of letting fear be my enemy, I make fear my friend. So I'm no longer concerned when fear comes up. I look at what fear is telling me, and then I decide, what am I committed to create in my life, and what do I need to prevent myself from being hurt or harmed? So fear is now my friend. What do I fear? I fear a lot of things. I fear a lot of things. It is human to feel fear. But I am not stopped by fear. I am not stopped by fear. Fear takes care of me. So that's how I make the enemy my friend. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, so if it's not clear, please just pop another question and I'll do my best to answer that. How to face and overcome the upheavals in life. Just face it and just move forward. Okay, so I'm going to give an example. Okay, I'm going to give a metaphor, an analogy. I'm going to tell a story. Okay, I'm going to use this word game. Okay, we play games. Okay, we play games in our life. Why do I want to use the word games? Because in every game, there is a beginning, there is an end where we create a result, and then there's the process in between. So there's a start, there's an end, and there's the middle where we play the game. I consider everything that I do in my life a game. Education is a game. Relationships is a game. Business is a game because it has a start and end, and there's something that I need to do in the middle. Now, to play the game, there are things that goes. I need to understand the game. I need to understand how the game works. I need to understand what I need to know to play the game. I need to know who else is playing the game. I need to know a lot of things to play the game. So I need to learn to play the game. In order to play the game, okay, so whatever game it is that we play, okay, let's say the school education game, is the same game for all of us. We go to school age 6, and we continue going to school and for the next 15 to 20 years. At the end of the education school game, we get a piece of paper. Okay, for most of us, to get that piece of paper, and that piece of paper, you take that piece of paper that has your name on it and that says so and so Douglas Ng, okay, has spent the last 20 years learning, and now he has a set of skills. He can do a job. That's what the piece of paper says. So I take this piece of paper and then I go into the next game, which is the job game. So we play games. But does everyone who plays the same game create the same outcome? No, they don't. What is different? In order to play the game, we need to learn some skills. We need to get some knowledge. We need to get some tools, skills, and knowledge so that we can play the game. But everyone can learn knowledge, acquire the skills, and get the tools. But does everyone get the same result? No, they don't. Then what's different? What is different is the action that we take, is how we apply the knowledge, use the skills, and apply the tools. It's how we use all this to create the results that we want. And for each of us, we will play the game differently because we have different talents. We have different ways of doing things. Even with the same knowledge, skills, and tools, we all have a different way of using it, of applying it, and creating results. So the next thing that happens, we take action. The first time we take action, are we going to be successful? Are we going to create the results that we want? Most of the time, no. The first time we will make mistakes. And then we need to correct the mistakes. And then we will make more mistakes. And then we need to correct the mistakes. And then we make more mistakes, we need to correct. And this is where making mistakes and making corrections is called practicing. But a lot of us, practice is an enemy. We don't like to practice. We like to learn something, and then the first time we do it, we will be successful. Unfortunately, no. If you look at some of the most successful people on this planet, you look at how much they have practiced. Okay, they will practice and practice and practice and practice, but we don't see this. We don't see their practice. We only see when they create the results. And then we think, wow, so successful so fast. And took 2 years. And took 2 years to get to where she is right now. And over time, she's going to create more and more and more and more. Did she know what she was doing when she started? She told me, no, she didn't. Okay, but she persisted and practiced and practiced and practiced. So the key is to practice and to correct. Then, whilst we are playing the game, the universe comes and throws in some struggles, life's upheavals, throws in some challenges. Why is life doing that? Because it helps us to grow. If something is easy, it means that there's nothing more for us to learn. It's something we already know how to do. And if it's something that we already know how to do, then are we growing? No, we are in a comfort zone. So life will throw us challenges. Life will throw us challenges, breakthrough or breakdown. When life throws us struggles, challenges, life's upheavals, breakthrough, or breakdown. Breakthrough or breakdown. We choose. So if you choose to break through, you will experience growth. If you choose to break down, it is death. So we will fall. Okay, each of us will fall down. Okay, earlier I talked about my life. I made a lot of mistakes over and over and over and over and over again, and some of them very, very painful. I lost my dad in the process. I didn't have money to help him with his medical expenses. Okay, so I made a lot of mistakes in my life. But each time, it is not about how we fall down. It is about how we pick ourselves up after we fall down. So how do you overcome? What are you committed to? The question I will ask is this: what are you committed to create in your life? Are you going to give up? Or are you going to create something amazing? What are you committed to? Giving up or creating something amazing? And if your choice is to create something amazing, then we need to work for it. Then you need to work for it. When someone helps you when they are struggling too, that's not help, that is love. Let me think about how to answer that. On this journey in life, in this game that we are playing, we will meet other people. We will meet other people who are also on their life path, on their journey, creating whatever it is that they want to create in their lives. Personally, the success stories that I'm inspired by are the people who have nothing and then create everything. Create amazing results in their lives with nothing. If someone already has a lot to be able to create the same results, it is easy. It is easy, but there is no growth. And the thing I want to say is this: life is about growth. Life is about what we experience. Life is about what we learn. Life is about how we expand. Life is about how we make an impact on other people. So if someone is struggling, If someone is struggling, doing his best or her best to take care of himself, fighting the battles, and then sees someone else who is struggling, what does that mean? Because it takes a lot of energy to take care of yourself and to take care of someone else. But if someone has everything already, very easy, good life, okay, good life, no struggle, and then see someone struggling, then helps the person. Between these two, the person who is not struggling and the person who is struggling, help the same person who is struggling. Who is creating, who is making more sacrifice? You know the answer. Who is making more sacrifice? The person who has everything or the person who is struggling? Who is giving more? So what is that? To me, that is love. That's what I think it means. And the thing I want to say is this: when I was struggling in my business, when in the year 2000, when my .com bubble burst, all my business partners, when we lost a lot of money, all my business partners left. Okay, because yeah, we were growing and growing, and at that point in time when we were growing, we had a lot of media coverage. Okay, we were featured in magazines and newspapers, and everything looked good. Okay, and everyone likes to be where everything looks good. But it was when the .com bubble crashed, when the .com bubble crash burst, a lot of these most of my business partners left. Okay, but my team stuck with me. They said, Douglas, let's do this. We'll take pay cut. It's okay. No money. It's okay. We'll take pay cut. Okay, we will work harder. So there were times we stayed overnight. Okay, we stayed in the office overnight. We whatever money we had, we bought food to eat. And these were the people who stuck with me, who stayed with me when it was raining in the storm. And these are the people I am so grateful for, because they walk with me in the rain. So who are the people who will walk with you in the rain? Treasure them, because they are the most important people who will be with you in your life. Why does the world need balance? Okay, that's a very good question, and that's a very difficult question to answer. What are we on this planet for? How many of you have ever asked that question? What's life about? Why are we on this planet? Why are we alive? And if we are alive, then what do we do in this time when we're on this planet? So at Money and You, I learned this. So there's this gentleman, okay, whom I think is a brilliant person. His name is R. Buckminster Fuller. And so he was born in 18 something, and then he lived until 1983, and then he passed away. So to me, he's one of the greatest thinkers of the 20th century. Some of you may not have been born yet when he was around. And he said this: our true life purpose may forever remain obscure to us. Your true life purpose may forever remain obscure to you. That means your true life purpose you may never see. But if you commit yourself to converting your experience to the highest advantage of others, you can safely assume that you're fulfilling your life's true purpose. So what does he mean by that? So earlier I talked about experience. The only thing that we will keep with us our entire lives is experience. Is the experience that we get in our life. So the more experience we have, I feel the richer we are, because then we would have experienced life a lot. So we all have experience, and all of us have experience that is unique, because the universe gives us different gifts. The universe gives us different struggles, different challenges, different obstacles. Break down, break through, fall down, get up, making mistakes, making correction. We create experience. Life is not about things, because things don't last. We come into the world naked, and we will leave with nothing. Okay, so it's no point having things. So to me, life is about getting experience. Now, what do we do with this experience that we get? We can keep it to ourselves. And if we keep this experience to ourselves, nothing happens. But if we use this experience that we have, where we have created breakthroughs, where we've found solutions to the struggles, obstacles, and challenges that life throws at us, if we take all this and share it with someone else, then we help someone else shortcut their process. So our purpose in life, because each of us are unique, we have our own talents and gifts, we have our unique experiences. If each of us take this and share it with someone else, so that their life can be better. So imagine if everybody does this. Everybody is having an experience, and everybody is sharing that experience. Everybody is creating value for someone else. What would the world be like? We stop fighting. We stop fighting, we stop conflicting, and humanity might actually move forward at a faster rate than we are right now, in a way where all of us can win. And that's where I see the world, that's where I see the balance of the world is. Okay, where everybody is creating a world that works for everybody else. How do you know what gift the universe sent to you? You may not. You may not. But the universe, oh, that's a very good question. So you may not. You will have an experience. So the universe will send us messages. And a lot of time we don't know the messages that the universe is sending us. So how do you know? Learn to listen. Learn to listen to what is happening, what the universe is telling you. What do you listen for? Okay, in Money and You, we call this taps. The universe will send us taps. Most of us don't know, cannot recognize these taps. These taps come in the form of things that don't work. You're going down. Okay, another example. Give you an example. You're going to travel. You're going to travel. You bought your flight ticket. Your flight is at 10 o'clock. Okay, you need to leave your house at 8:30 to get to the airport, to check in, to do whatever it is. So you need to leave your house at 8:30 in the morning so that you can make the 10 o'clock flight. Then at 8:25, as you're about to get out of the house, your pipe bursts. And then you need to repair the pipe that burst before you leave. Otherwise, when you travel, you come back, your house is going to be flooded. For a lot of us, we will curse and swear. Why does this have to happen now? I need to catch a flight. Maybe you were not meant to be on that flight. Maybe there's something else that you need to do. So the universe will send us signs, I believe. Okay, I don't have to be right about this. Okay, I just want to say this right now. Whatever I'm sharing with you guys right now is my experience. Okay, I don't know that it's the absolute truth. Okay, but over the last 50 years of my life, this is what I've experienced in my life, and this is what I have learned, and I'm doing my best right now to share whatever I can with all of you. Okay, but it is not right or wrong, it is my experience. Okay, but I'm giving you examples so that you can then start taking a look at what would work for you in the way that will work for you. Okay, and I hope that makes sense. So the universe will send us signs, okay, in many, many ways. The universe will send us messages, sometimes in other people. Okay, so what we need to do is to learn to listen and to learn to recognize these signs. And sometimes the bad things that happen may not be bad things, but at that point in time, we don't see it. So when things happen, I say this now, there's no good or bad things that happen. There's no right or wrong things that happen. They're just things that happen to help us move forward and sometimes slow us down. And then we need to choose. We need to choose what we're going to do. Is there any guarantee? There isn't. Okay, but sometimes for a door to open, another one must close first. For an opportunity to come up, sometimes you need to say no to something else. I hope that makes sense. Why do rich people tend to live more simply? It depends. I'm going to assume that rich means having everything that you need. I would say I wouldn't. Okay, so I don't have rich people live like this and other people live differently. And I wouldn't really say rich or not. I will say this: there are people who are not. There are people. Okay. This is how should I explain this? When you have, so I'll answer it this way. When you start to understand what life is about, you will realize that there is very little that you need. And it's a process. It's a process of growth, it's a process of learning. And for me, that process was very painful. Okay, I was 37 years old. Okay, I was 37 years old when I first saw real money. Okay, money that I made. Okay, when I made money from that investment. And I worked very hard to get there. But when I got there and I had the money, I realized that I told you guys earlier, okay, that money was not it, because it's just money is just means to an end. It is not, money in itself does nothing. Okay, it's what you do with money and not money itself. And then I asked myself after that, what is it that I want to do? what is it that I want to do, and I realized that it's not about making more money. I have everything that I need. And the reason why I call myself kampungkid is because I want to simplify my life even more. Because if I have another 50 years on this planet, how do I want to spend that next 50 years? Okay, I don't want to be bothered with more things. How do I want to spend my time? I want to spend my time with people. I want to spend my life getting experiences. I want to spend my life overcoming the gifts, the challenges, the struggles, and the obstacles that the universe is going to give me. I want to spend the rest of my life growing and learning, and I don't need very much for that. So at the point in my life right now, I realize I need to simplify because I don't need things anymore. I don't need things anymore. Okay, but what I want is more experience. I hope that answers the question. Why use Ikigai and not use other methods? So there's no need to use Ikigai. But why we choose to use Ikigai? Because I am inspired by that framework, and I feel that framework, that model, the Ikigai model, is very simple. There are only 4 things to consider: what I love, what I am good at, what the world needs, and what I can be paid for. When you have these 4 circles, what I love, what I'm good at, what the world needs, and what I can be paid for, in the middle, where these 4 circles come together, that's what we call the Ikigai Zone. Ikigai is a Japanese word. It came from the Japanese, and if you find that point in the middle where all the 4 circles intersect, that point is supposed to be about a life that is meaningful. It's about a life where we are fulfilling our purpose. We are using the gifts that we've been given in our lives. We are using the gifts that we've been given in our lives, and we're making use of these gifts. Charlie again. So we're making use, we are taking the talents that we have, and then we're turning these talents into something of value that we can give to the world. And if it's what we love, it's what we are good at, if you are doing what you love and what you're good at, can you imagine doing anything else in your life? I cannot. So for me, Ikigai, because I'm doing what I love to do and what I'm good at, and giving that to the world, not for myself. Not for myself, because if I do what I love and what I'm good at, and I keep for myself, it's no use. Because when I die, it dies with me. But if I do what I love and what I'm good at, and I give it to the world, then that value is created for someone else. That value expands. And getting paid for it is just the exchange of value. It's just the exchange of energy. Because we create value, we get something back. So the focus is not about making money. The focus is about being the best of whoever we can be with the gifts that we have. And then the universe will give us everything else that we need. And that is why my choice of Ikigai. It is not for everyone, but if it makes sense to you, then start taking a look. What is it that you love? What is it that you are talented and gifted with? what is it that the world needs. You do all that, the exchange will happen. I hope that answers the question. Someday I can bring my dog. I can bring my dog now if he's willing to come. Charlie, let's see if he comes. Charlie. Okay, Charlie's going upstairs. Okay, next time. Okay, so anything else? Anything else? Thank you. What will you do if there's one day left to live? I'll connect with all the people who matter to me. I'll connect with all the people that I love, and I will tell them, and I will say thank you. I'll say thank you for being with me. I'll say thank you for standing with me in the rain. I'll say thank you for teaching me the lessons in life. I'll say thank you for loving me. And I will tell them how important they are and have been, and how significant they have been in my life. That's what I would do. Because at any single moment, the thing for me is this. At this point in my life, I don't have anything that I regret doing or not doing. Because I've lived my life on my terms, doing the things that I want to do. I've had my experiences. And I can say goodbye and have no regrets. So that's what I will do. Making mistakes always lead me to negative emotions. How to solve them? I don't have a concept of positive or negative emotions. All emotions are equal. All emotions are equal. Okay, love, sadness, happiness, sorrow, joy, they are all equal. Because they're just emotions, and emotions are just our energetic state. It's just the energy that we have. Our emotions tell us what's going on for us. Positive and negative is the value that we put on these emotions. So for me, I don't have a positive or negative emotion. They are just emotions. But the thing is, are there things that I like or don't like? Yeah, there are things that I like or don't like. Whether it makes me comfortable or uncomfortable. There are things that I like or don't like because it works for me or it works against me. So I tell people this: there's no good or bad, right or wrong, okay? And similarly, there's no good or bad negative emotions. Okay, it is just an emotion that gives us feedback there's something going on for us. Okay, that's number one. Then number two, making mistakes. Is making mistakes your enemy or your friend? Humans are designed, so this is the other thing that I learned at Money and You. Humans are designed to learn by making mistakes. If you don't make a mistake, you won't learn. How does a baby learn to walk? When the baby was born, does the baby know how to walk? No, the baby doesn't know how to walk. The baby learned to walk. Okay, they start crawling for some time, and then around 1 year old, okay, it's old enough. It starts to strong enough. The legs strong enough, but the diaper's dropping down. Strong enough, get up. Probably holding on to some furniture. Take the first step. What happens? Fall down. But does the baby give up? Does the baby say, "Oh, so painful. Oh, I'm such a failure. I'm such a disaster"? The baby doesn't do that. What does the baby do? The baby picks himself up again and then walks again, takes the next step. What happens? Fall down again. Then what happens after that? get up, and walk again. Does the baby say, oh, these negative emotions, I can't deal with it. All these negative emotions, this pain, this, I'm such a failure. The baby doesn't say that. And that's how the baby learns to walk, by falling down. Okay, who are the people who experience negative emotions? It's us, adults. Okay, when we fall, when we fail, when we make mistakes, I'm such a disaster, I'm such a failure. And then we start beating ourselves up. And it's crazy. Why do we beat ourselves up? Why do we experience these negative emotions? Where did we learn this from? Where do you learn this? Where do you learn the emotion, and where do you learn that it was negative? Who told you that? For a lot of us, we learn that in school. When we make mistakes, what happens? We are punished. You made a mistake. We are punished when we make mistakes growing up. Okay, then we start to learn that making mistakes is bad. We grow up learning that making mistakes is bad. So we don't like to make mistakes because we will be punished, we'll be shamed, people will call us stupid, people will call us failures, and then we feel all these negative emotions. It's crazy. Because the only way to learn, to grow, is to make mistakes. So start taking a look. Mistakes and the associated emotions, are they your enemy or your friend? Because I look at mistakes, I look at struggles, I look at obstacles as opportunity to learn something, opportunity to grow. So every time something goes wrong, every time I make a mistake, I ask myself, what didn't work? What didn't work? What do I need to do differently? What skill do I need? What knowledge do I need? What tools do I need in order to make it work? There's no negative emotion in that. I hope that explains. How long did it take for you to find your purpose in life? I haven't found I don't think I will ever know what my true purpose in life is. I know what I'm doing now is purposeful and meaningful for me. And my only job is to continue to do what I need to do, what I feel I need to do. So earlier I talked about the universe. The universe will always give us taps that we're going the right way, or we're going in a way, okay, that we need to go, or we are going in a way that we shouldn't be going. Then the universe will always attempt to bring us back. But do I know where I'm going? I don't know what the final destination is. And I don't need to know what the final destination is. I just need to know, to listen to my heart, and to do what I feel needs to be done at this point in time to create value for someone else. Is this my life purpose? I don't know if it's my life purpose. I know that it is what I am called to do right now. Then as I move down this journey in life, as I continue to do this thing, the universe will give me more feedback. Douglas, maybe you need to go this way. I have learned to listen. Then I go this way. Then the universe may say, hey, you need to go this way. How does the universe tell us? Tell me. Okay, when there is a lot of when things don't work, no matter what I do, when I hit a wall, I have learned to don't fight fight the wall. Very painful. Okay, when I come to a wall, then I look at the wall, then I ask, how come this wall is here? Maybe I need to learn something and go another direction. No point fighting the wall. The wall will always win. So there's a lot of people who say, don't quit, go. Even the wall, you just bash, brute force. I say, no. Okay, in one of my TikTok videos, I talk about this. Don't fight the wall. The wall will always win. But take a look at why the wall is there and listen to the universe what needs to change for you to be able to continue moving forward. All this is within our control. I hope that makes sense. Because we choose. At any point in time, we choose. The enemy of success is emotion. Who said that? How can we realize the right decisions and how can we control? Why? Who said that? I don't know if the enemy of success is emotion. Because emotion is just one of the things that we experience in our lives that makes our life complete. We will feel. Okay, so emotional wealth is one of the 9 wealth dimensions. It is as important as everything else. Okay, so I don't know. I don't have an answer to why emotion is the enemy to success. I believe that emotion contributes to our success. Then the question is, what is success to you? Is success making more money? I don't consider that success. Okay, success is falling down and getting up again. Success is making a mistake and being able to make a correction. Success is experiencing a struggle and learning something, getting a lesson from that. Success is being able to wake up today and create something in the time that we live. That's what success is to me. And emotional wealth is one of the 9 wealth dimensions. It is as important as the other 8: intellectual wealth, environmental wealth, all these things I talked about earlier. So I don't have it that emotion is an enemy to success. Does that make sense? Okay, if it doesn't make sense, it's okay. Okay, it makes sense to me. Just ask me more questions. Where is the value for each person? What value are you talking about? Where is the value for each person? What value are you talking about? Are you talking about the gifts and talents that you have? Or are you asking about what's important to you? So there are 2 sorts of value. Okay, the first sort of value is what's important to you. And there are 7 things. I'm giving you guys all this. I hope it's not overwhelming you guys. I'm going to answer this question, then I'll answer the next question. So there are 7 things. There are 7 what we call the 7 dimensions of motivation. Okay, so there are 7 areas that are important to people. Okay, there are 7 things that motivate us to wake up every morning and love the thing that we want to do. Money is one of them. Okay, money is one of them. What are the others? Okay, some people look for balance. They want to live balanced lives. Some people want to stand out. They want to be different. Some people look for money. They want to, not really money, but they want to put in effort and get something back. Some people want to help other people. Some people want to create more structures. Some people want to love to learn. Okay, so if they're in a learning environment, they're very motivated. Some people want to have status and titles. Okay, all of it, okay, it's not good or bad. It is just what we want, what motivates us in our lives. But very often in the world today, the biggest motivation that we hear around us is money. But not everyone is motivated by money. I am not motivated by money. You give me a lot of money, I don't care. Okay, what I'm motivated to do is this. At the end of my life, I don't want to die and be meaning and be just another person. I want to, in my life, make a difference so that my life would not be wasted. So that's what's important to me. Okay, and that's what I value. Okay, to be able to contribute to the planet. Okay, that's one aspect of value. The second aspect of value is the value that we have. Okay, and this is a very, very big conversation. Each of us are gifted differently. Okay, so it's discovering those gifts and then developing those gifts in a way. Am I still connected? Okay, so it's understanding what our gifts are, and then being the best version of ourselves. Okay, so those are the two aspects of value. I lost connection on my notebook. Okay, hang on. There was another question that somebody asked earlier. The question before this: what do you do every day to feel young at heart? Enjoy life. Live like there's no tomorrow. Do the thing that you love. Do the thing that you love. Do the thing that you love for the reason that you love it. If a person wears many layers of face to live, interesting. So I get that if a person wears many layers of face to live, is that person who he is, or is he forced to do so in order to live in this society? So somebody said this. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the value dimensions, about what is important to us. And then my question, the question that I will ask you guys is this: what is important to you? What matters to you that in this lifetime you don't want to have regret about that thing? Okay, so that is internal conversation. And then there's the environment in which we live. Okay, which I think what this question is about. So one of the 9 dimensions of wealth is environmental wealth. Okay, environmental wealth is about the space that we live in, not just about the environment, okay, but the space that we live in. Is it a safe space? Who is in that space? Who are the other people that who are living in that space? Okay, what else is going on? Okay, so that's the environment. Okay, environmental wealth. So environmental wealth is about what will help us, what will create a safe environment for us to be able to create what we want to create in our lives. And then there's everything else that's happening. Then the question is 2 things. How are you creating that environment? How are you creating the environment in which you are creating your life? And I believe there is a choice of what we can or cannot do. Okay, what are you creating? Then the second thing is this: who do you need to be? Who do you need to be in order to create that environment? The environment is something that we cannot control. There are things in this life, unfortunately, we cannot control. Most things in this life we cannot control. But what we can control, what we can choose, is how we respond to the environment. Who do we need to be in order to thrive in any given environment? And I get that some environments are very difficult and challenging environments. And some of these environments are life or death environments. And it's a struggle. It creates struggle. It creates challenge. Right? It creates struggle. It creates challenge. And if you could, you would not want to be in that environment. But this challenge, this struggle, is the gift from the universe. Then what do you choose? How do you choose to respond? How do you choose to deal with what's going on? Break down or break through? So I don't have it. Okay, so I don't have it that however we show up, okay, is a good or bad thing. Is what we need to do to live, to operate, to create what we need to create in the environments that we live in. I hope that makes sense. You guys are asking, so you guys, I really want to thank all of you for all the questions. These are really, really, really great questions. And sometimes I don't have all the answers either. Okay. And what do I mean by that? I have an experience. Okay, I have an experience of what it is that I've gone through in my life. Okay, is it all the experience that's possible? No, it's not. It is my experience. And you guys have your experience. And maybe some of the experience that you have, I may not understand. I may not understand the environments that you guys are in. Okay, but I appreciate that it's a different environment. And all of you are going to get experience that I will never have. So the thing I say about struggle, challenge, and obstacles, the thing that I told Anne is this. They are gifts from the universe. They are gifts from the universe, and it's designed for your learning and for your growth. You may not see it now. Okay, none of us like the obstacles and challenges when we are presented with the gift. You may not see it now. At the point when I told Anne about her struggles and challenges, her response to me was this: I hate you, Douglas. I hate you. Why are you telling me it's a gift? Because so painful. Why is it a gift? But now, 2 years later, she understands. It is necessary because if she didn't experience the struggles and challenges and obstacles that she did 2 years ago, she will not be doing what she's doing today. So it is a process. It is a path that the universe creates for each of us. And why is it a gift? Because we cannot buy these struggles, we cannot buy these challenges, we cannot buy these obstacles. You cannot pay money and say, I want to buy this struggle. You cannot. We cannot. And I will bet you this, even if you have the money, even if you have all the money in the world, you will not want to buy these struggles, challenges, or obstacles. So they are gifts, and each of us have got different, unique gifts. So gratitude is the response. Okay, I hope that in the last hour or so, I have made sense to you guys. It is my experience. It is not the only thing. Okay, and over the years, okay, these have become, I wouldn't say recipes of success for success. These have become my recipes for life. And I hope that you've enjoyed some of these recipes that I shared with you guys today. And if you enjoyed today's session, please let me know by liking, subscribing, or sharing. Like, subscribe, and share to let me know that I have created value for you. And then we can do more of these recipes for life. So thank you all for spending time with me today.